Hi, this is Ryan Witt with the Witt Law Group, and I want to address a question that we get all the time in the office, and that is, do you handle domestic violence cases? And I say, well, what do you mean by that? What's the charge? And they'll say, well, I got charged with domestic violence. In Washington, domestic violence isn't a charge, it's actually a special allegation. It's like there's an underlying charge, and then the special allegation is a tag that they put on the back of it. What it does is it defines the relationship between the perpetrator and the victim. So the statute's under 1099 in Washington, and I'll read the first part because the statute goes on, but you'll get the gist. It basically covers every possible relationship you could have. It starts family or household members, means spouses, former spouses, persons who have a child in common, regardless of whether or not they've been married, adult persons related by blood or marriage, adult persons who are presently residing together, adult persons who have resided together in the past. So it's all encompassing. It's if you're a guy in college and you have 5 roommates and you get into a scuffle with another guy roommate, it doesn't mean you were ever dating or had any relationship like that. It just means you have lived together. So it can be tagged onto anything. The most common one is assault for, but it can be, the other ones that you hear violating a court order, but then you get into like malicious mischief or theft. I mean, maybe you took your buddy's gas can who lives with you and it's charged as theft, but it's domestic violence because you guys have lived together or lived together in the past. So it's a statute that everybody scratches their head about. It's super broad. It sounds really bad because this is domestic violence, but really all it is it's a definition of who you've lived with in the past. So it looks offensive on paper, but it's not as bad as what you would think. This isn't intended to be legal advice. If you're going through a case like this, you've probably got a public defender or private counsel. Just ask them what it means and don't be alarmed by the term. The underlying cases are all significant. You got to handle the charges, but DV or the DV tag isn't a charge in and of itself. So question that came up all the time, and I hope people understand it better now. Thank you.